Welcome back to the Career Readiness Workshop series. In this video, we'll be going over the strategies that can help you craft an effective resume. We will be learning about the different kinds of resumes that exist and which style would best showcase your unique skills and experiences. We'll also go over the various components of a resume and how you can achieve a polished and professional result. We'll reveal what crucial element can set your resume apart from the rest and boost your chances of landing an interview. And finally, we'll share some handy tools and platforms that'll support you in making a top-notch resume. Searching for employment can seem quite daunting at first, so let's review some important elements of this process before moving forward. More specifically, let's look at things from the recruiter's perspective in order to gain a broader understanding of how everything works. When you submit your application to a job posting, it's important to keep in mind that many others are also interested in this position. Can you guess roughly how many? On average, a single corporate job posting can attract around 250 applicants. Sorting through all these applications is a time and resource consuming process, so most employers use an applicant tracking software, or ATS, to help filter out the most promising resumes. ATS systems are designed to scan your resume for specific keywords that match the job description. For this reason, it's essential to tailor your resume to each position by including relevant keywords from the original job posting. One important note is that not all resumes are ATS friendly. While it may be tempting to create a flashy, colorful resume, ATS systems prefer simplicity. To ensure your resume makes it through the scanning process, stick to a clean, easy-to-read format with minimal colors and graphics. Remember to keep it simple and focus on the content rather than flashy design elements. Let's take a look at a few examples. Which of these two resumes do you think is more ATS friendly? The one on the left? Or the one on the right? If your answer was the first resume, then you are correct. The simple format is easily accessible by the ATS system, allowing it to scan all the important information that the resume contains. Once your resume passes through the initial ATS scanning process, the recruiter will have a chance to manually inspect your resume. However, on average, recruiters spend a mere 6 seconds reviewing each resume before determining whether it deserves further attention. With such a limited time to make an impact, it's essential to craft a resume that rapidly and effectively conveys your worth as a candidate. Considering all of this information, you might be wondering whether you need to prepare a brand new resume for every job posting. Although we cannot neglect the importance of tailoring a resume to better suit a particular posting, this strategy would take far too long. To make the process more efficient, create a master resume that includes all of your skills, experiences, and training. This will serve as a foundation for every job application. When you find a job that you'd like to apply for, simply make a copy of your master resume and customize it according to the specific requirements and expectations outlined in the job description. By doing this, you'll be able to highlight your most relevant skills and experiences for each position without needing to make an entirely new resume from scratch. The first step to building a master resume is choosing an appropriate format. First, let's discuss the functional resume. This style really emphasizes the skills that you possess instead of how many years you've been in the game. It's a go-to for people who are switching careers or have some gaps in their work history. So here, you want to make sure that any transferable skills you have are right up front and center. Instead of a timeline, here you group your experiences under different skill categories. This way, you can demonstrate to employers how they can benefit from your unique skill set. Next, we have the chronological resume, also known as the traditional resume. This one may look the most familiar to you. It's the most common type of resume that employers receive, and so it's the most familiar to them. Picture a timeline of your work history, starting with your most recent job at the top and going backwards. This format is great for those with a consistent career path in a particular field. It lets employers see your progression and growth at a glance. It's like a story of your career, showing where you started and where you are now. Finally, we have the combination resume, or the hybrid resume. Think of it as the best of both worlds. It highlights your relevant skills while also giving a chronological rundown of your work history. It's all about showing why you're a great fit for the job while still giving employers the details that they're looking for. You start with a strong skills section, similar to the functional resume, and then follow it up with a chronological work history. This format gives you the flexibility to showcase your most relevant skills up front while still also detailing your work experience. When it's time to make your resume and you aren't sure which of these styles is best for you, you can always schedule an appointment with a member of the careers team who can help you choose the best resume to suit your unique background and career goals. Once you've decided on a format, then it's time to make sure you're filling it with the right information. So in this section, we're going to look at the different components that make up a resume and what you should add to each one. Let's build a standard resume together. First, you've got your name and contact information right at the top. This tells employers how to reach you. Next is the career summary. Think of this as your professional elevator pitch that tells employers what you're all about. If you watched the LinkedIn video, then you can think of this as the blurb or tagline next to your name. Then we come to core competencies or skills. This is where you highlight your relevant abilities that align with the job that you're applying for. Your education and any academic projects are next, showcasing your qualifications and practical applications of your learning. Following that, we have work experience, which is all about your professional history, what roles you've had, what you've achieved, and how you've grown. Lastly, we have some optional but potentially valuable sections. Volunteer experience demonstrates that you are community-minded. Professional development highlights any extra training or certifications that you might possess. And interests can give a glimpse into your personality. Let's dive a little deeper into the resume sections that you must include. Although the name and contact information section might seem like the most straightforward one, it's important to spend a little extra time on it to get it right. Here's what you need to include for Canadian requirements. First, your name. This should be the largest text on the page, so make sure that it stands out. Next, your email address. Choose a professional one, preferably using your name. Then you should add your phone number and ensure that this is a number where employers can easily reach you. After that, mention where you're from. Only the city and province are needed, not your full address. Finally, if you have a LinkedIn profile, include the URL. And that's all. No need for any additional personal information. This keeps your resume concise and respects privacy guidelines. Now let's move on to the career summary. This section is also known as the career profile. It's a concise overview of your skills and experiences directly related to the position you're applying for. This is not an objective statement about what you hope to achieve. Instead, it's about showcasing how your qualifications and experiences make you an excellent match for the company and the role. It's your chance to grab the employer's attention and make them want to read more. So make it compelling and relevant. Next up, we have core competencies. This section is your opportunity to showcase both your technical skills and your power skills. Technical skills are job specific and may include things such as software proficiency, machinery operation, or language fluency. These are the skills that are directly tied to the job you're applying for. Power skills, sometimes called soft skills, are more universal. They include abilities like teamwork, negotiation, empathy, and problem solving. These are the skills that make you a well-rounded employee, regardless of the job or industry. Next, let's talk about the education section of your resume. Start by listing your most recent education first. Include the entire program name without abbreviations. There's no need to list high school education if you have post-secondary qualifications. Here's what you should include. Firstly, the school name. In this case, Lakehead University. Number 2 would be the location, and that would be the city and province where the university is located. Number 3 would be the years that you attended this program. Number 4 would be a list of the relevant courses that are directly related to the job you're applying for. You can also mention your GPA. Finally, any awards or honors that you received during your time at the university can be mentioned here as well. This section is all about showcasing your academic accomplishments and how they've prepared you for the job you're applying for. Another valuable subsection to add here would be any projects that you completed during your studies. Including relevant projects in your resume is a fantastic way to demonstrate your qualifications, especially if you're just starting out or changing careers. Here's what you can include. Start with the name of the project and the course that it was a part of. Add the project's completion date and provide a brief overview. Be sure to also mention your contributions to the project by highlighting your role. Finally, share any remarkable findings that the project yielded. Remember, these projects are like mini job experiences. So be sure to choose projects that show you have the key qualifications needed for the job you're applying for. Finally, let's take a look at the experience section. This is where you'll showcase your part-time or full-time jobs, internships, co-op roles, and even volunteer work. You should include your official title in the role, as well as the name of the organization you worked for. You should also include when and where you took on this role. But here's a real game changer. Instead of just listing out your responsibilities as though it were a job description, we're going to shine a spotlight on your accomplishments. This is what will really make your resume pop. We'll go into more detail about this later. Now, while we've covered some key sections of your resume, remember that there are additional sections that you could consider. These might include languages, publications, or even hobbies and interests, depending on the job you're applying for. Every resume is unique, so feel free to tailor yours to best represent you and your qualifications. Having said this, let's go back to the responsibilities component of the experience section because it's the key to making a standout resume. In order to do so, you need to follow the ATR method. The ATR method is a way of emphasizing your accomplishments rather than simply focusing on your job duties. ATR stands for Action, Task, and Results. It's a nice acronym that can help you organize the descriptions you provide alongside your experiences. By following this layout, you can clearly present your achievements during previous positions. And these achievements give employers a glimpse into what you're capable of, and they lend some more credibility to your resume. In other words, this technique will give concrete examples of the deliverables you've been able to provide, emphasizing everything that you can bring to the table. Let's look at an example of how this works. While someone was working at a call center, they provided efficient customer service via telephone, handling 20 plus calls per hour. Note that this is considerably more informative than simply saying that they handled telephone reception. This is the key to making a standout resume and is just one of the many tips that we can provide for you here at Career Services. Let's look at the additional resources that are available to you. The Career Zone website offers a wealth of information to help you with all things related to job searching. You can find the Career Zone online at www.lakeheadu.ca/careerzone. Next, we have Skill Syncer. This is an applicant tracking system designed for job seekers. It's a great tool to identify what might be missing in your resume and how to optimize it for specific job applications. You can find it at skillsyncer.com. Finally, there's Big Interview, which is a platform that provides an AI-powered mock interview process. It's an excellent resource to help you prepare for interviews and improve your interview skills. There is also some resume writing curriculum available to help you build your resume in this tool. So even though it's just called Big Interview, you can also use it for your resume needs. You can create an account by following this link at biginterview.com, and be sure to use your Lakehead email and password for a free account. After watching this video, if you have any of these following questions or others, be sure to stop by the Career Zone or book an appointment with us. We are here to support you throughout your career journey. Thank you for watching this video and stay tuned for others.